I'm going to try to be more compassionate in this video and more specifically address trans mental health. Obviously, I'm going to know more about people such as myself, like male to feminine. I'm not going to say male to female. Male to feminine rather than feminine or female to masculine, but I think it's pretty universal stuff. There's definitely more of the heat is on the masculine to feminine though, and there's deep reasons for that, but I'm gonna try to be more compassionate about it. Wow, I got my little, I can see that. Keeping in mind the self. I just put my notes are like this, right? While keeping in mind self-destruct, monkey paw, scapegoat, genocide. So that's what we're being set up for. But it's because we've been fucked with mentally, and we don't have very good mental health. Even when we're happy, it's like there's a lot of people that are complacent and they're happy, but they're not mentally healthy. Or if you're in denial, if you're in a house that's in fire, and you're just like, oh, it's fine. Like you might be happy, but you can be in an echo chamber. And I can get back to I only got like 10 minutes. So I would say the first thing is get as okay as you can with your biological self. Like, I'm a man. Like, I can't change my chromosomes. I'm gonna lose my hair and shit. Like, even if I get hormone replacement therapy, I was never raised like you're always gonna be different. You're never gonna be the other sex. You're always gonna be in your own class. And trying to be something that you're not is gonna cause cognitive dissonance, and it's gonna cause like doubling down on really, really shaky ground. And people are gonna challenge you on that, and you're gonna have a really harder time than if you just own up and just be yeah, I wish I could magically fall asleep and wake up as a woman. Sure, okay, but realize that that's not realistic, and you're just doing the most you can. Even if you change your surgery and all that shit, it makes you feel better. Like you want to get the bottom surgery, top surgery, or whatnot. You're still gonna be who you are. You're still gonna have that difference. You're still gonna be trans. Like you're not gonna be. You're not gonna have the full experience of being a woman. And at a certain point, there's like, okay, let's say they give you an artificial womb. Like, let's say it's 100 years in the future, and they give you all this artificial shit. So you're like an artificial woman. Well, they can put that into a fucking, like, they put that into a sex bot, basically. Like, artificial womb. Guy comes in the robot, baby's made because they injected some, like, eggs and stuff. Like, you're never going to be that. So be okay. Little by little, just be okay. Like, oh, like, what can you do with what you got? And then shine in your own light. So don't compare. Feel the need to be the other sex, but connect inward without the labels yet. So like when you're connecting inward, just like if you got that feminine energy, just don't label it as such, because you're gonna have some masculine energy in there too. You're gonna have a little bit of both, but don't put all these labels on it. Like when you're going inward, like shut out like words and all that. You don't need, like, there's things words can't describe. I'm gonna try to move past this one pretty quick, because okay, so for body modification, has to take it slow and realize being trans is a hard road. So yeah, just do it like I don't got the money or funds or anything like that. I would probably take some like I probably wouldn't take testosterone blockers, but I would take like estrogen or something, and that would just like it would make me more feel better about myself. But like being trans is a hard road, right? So like I can't find employment and all that shit, and I'm not about to like I don't fuck with insurance and all that. So I just kind of got to work with what I got, and You know, I've taken them before. I've gotten some results, and I'm grateful for those results that I got, even though they're small. And it helps like differentiate me. Like I'm not a female, but I'm not quite a man. Like I'm a man, but I'm not. It helps differentiate me. But it's the slow steps, and it's really important, especially in the age of transitions being pushed. Like if you're new to being trans, like and you're a teenager or something, and like realize there's a lot of propaganda right now being pushed on people to take this route, and it dilutes the real trans people out. And if it's a hard road, it's it's a litmus test. Like can you deal with this? Like like are you willing to put up with a bunch of shit? Do you want it that bad? You know, is it really that internal that you're gonna express it that way? Like I'm gonna have a nurturing side that's gonna like come out and take over regardless the cost. Like I like I was taking care of an animal and I was in a tent and whatnot, and it required constant attention. So I was mothering it, but it wasn't like I wasn't dealing with shaving and all that stuff. Like I fucking actually grew like a little bit of a beard. Like all that external shit didn't matter because it took up all my energy to nurture and take care of this other creature. And so like all the external bullshit, it just stopped mattering for that week or two. Uh, be wary of fantasy-induced things like VR, video games, propaganda. Like I said, like there's a lot of it helps us explore and sort of come into like okay it helps us explore, so that's good. But it's also like way too easy to just inject that fantasy of oh I could just become a woman, and then that's built upon and weaponized, and then that being weaponized is conquer and divide, and then we're a minority and we're like the historical scapegoats, so we're pissing people off the most because of this propaganda that's being implanted through video games and VR and shit. Like get off that and go internal. But it I don't want to go down that road. I only got a few minutes. Uh, be realistic. If you be realistic, you'll find. I can't read that shit. If you be realistic about it, you'll find your enemies won't have as much to use against you, and some of them will actually start to respect you. Like there's so many like when Discord, like you guys, you know who you are. I'm talking about. You poisoned the well so much that when I go into like a Discord server, and I'm like, oh hi, I'm trans, and it's like no big deal, and then somebody makes like, oh a trans, oh well, I'm a helicopter, and I'm like, oh wow, that's funny, and then they're like, oh fuck, well if that didn't get you, then and then they start dropping like go kill yourself. Like it was fucking insane. One fucking server I went into, but I took the hits because that's part of being trans now, and it's not my fault. It's not even necessarily it is their fault, but it's really all of our faults. Like I should have been doing more speaking out earlier. This shit's gotten so critical. It's like oh fuck, I have to. Uh, so so yeah, this is like part 5. Like earn respect. Don't don't ask for it, but don't demand it either. You have to earn respect. You have to earn that internally too. Like people have like oh I respect myself, but if you need outside validation, you don't really respect yourself. Like, and you can't. You have to earn respect with other people. Like I earned respect in those Discord servers because I didn't get all upset and whatnot. It was kind of like okay, you're not like them, and now we have good rapport. They don't discriminate against me now. They check up on me and shit. Like you know the I'm the token tranny. Like there's so many groups, Christian groups. I can get along with Muslims. I can get like I'm gonna need to move on because that comes up later. Uh, cultivate internal pride. So it's not external. Like cultivate the internal quiet pride. Because gender is internally, inwardly manifested. First, like your sex is just your physical body, the external, the two spirit. They used to call us two spirits. Like in some places. It's an inward thing. Damn, I'll have to speed this up. Uh, okay, so don't read the science. The science is paid for by cash. They decided that way, and it's nobody's falling for that shit except the people that have been it's been beat into their head over and over and over again. And then you have to agree with all the science. Like it's not I agree with some of it or a little bit of it. It's a fucking religion, but there's better shit out there. Like read the Kabbalion, Kybalion or something. Just skip to the part with read it all. Really, it's a really short thing, like really short. But you can just skip to the part about mental gender. There's read about Jung, like Carl Jung, the shadow, the anima, the animus. I'm like on a time crunch, so I'm sort of actually remembering this shit. Yeah, okay, so like look at it as like you're not a woman, but you have access to the feminine skill tree. Like you have access to the man tree as far as like you're gonna be bigger and stronger, so you have no fucking business being in a UFC ring with a woman. It's I can't go on that tangent, but you do have that skill tree that you can defend yourself from another man that's gonna fuck with you in a bad way. You can defend yourself, but don't say, "Oh, I'm a woman," and then act that big manly. You got to own up to it, but then realize you can still cultivate the feminine skill tree. You can be diplomatic. You can be compassionate. You can disarm, diffuse situations. And I'm just gonna make this like a two-parter. I'll go over the last few points since I sped through them, and I think they're actually some of the most important as far as like higher knowledge about the true nature of transgender people and not this fake shit. So I have to wait for this to load. I ain't got no sleep in a while, but I know I can't sleep until I do the thing. It's gonna eat at me, and I got my own anxiety, all sorts of shit. So last few seconds. Wow, I just cut it off here, and we'll get this uploaded so I can get to sleep after I upload the next one.